Bitcoin is still moving sideways, guys, and a big question right now will be, of course, whether Bitcoin will see a massive bounce from these levels, or are we going to see a continuational move to the downside? That is exactly the topic that I want to discuss in today's video. Next to that, we are also going to have a look at the future of AI, and we are also going to have a look at the Fear and Greed Index, which I think is very interesting, but also have a look at this specific chart. So guys, let's jump straight into it. And yeah, Bitcoin is still moving sideways, a little bit choppy price action, not much is happening, but we do see, and I think that is very interesting, the sentiment right now clearly is getting bearish. And guys, I made a poll over on YouTube asking you whether you think what we are going to reach first for Bitcoin. Is it 22.5k or 28k? The majority clearly thinks that Bitcoin is going to go lower before touching higher levels. And also when we have a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, this one you can look over on whaleportal.com. Together with the Bitcoin price, you can basically see that we are at low levels, which means that we are at fearful levels. And every time we are at fearful levels, we see the Bitcoin price basically going up until we are a little bit more optimistic, euphoric, and then the price goes down again. Here you can see it as well. Until we are at fearful levels, the price goes up, and then we are at euphoric levels or at optimistic levels, and then the price goes down. But right now we are at fearful levels, and this tells us a lot about the sentiment, because even though the structure of Bitcoin is bearish, it's definitely bearish, most people right now are bearish too, and that decreases the likelihood of Bitcoin going down in the shorter term time frame. Yeah, maybe still touch this this white line to create somewhat of a bullish divergence right here, but it would make more sense in the immediate short term time frame for Bitcoin to get a bounce right here, just to reset the sentiment a little bit. But I would say if you look at the weekly structure of Bitcoin, it is definitely looking, in my opinion, still bearish until we can reclaim some levels. I want to show you one example, guys. This happened back in 2019. When we scroll back to 2019, you can see that it looks kind of similar to what we have seen right now. We also had a rising channel right here. We broke down. We had a retest. Then we came down to retest this low again. And then we had a rally again to the resistance. So it looks like right now we could be right here, where we right before that rally to the resistance, and eventually we are going to see a little bit more blood in the markets. And guys, I don't think Bitcoin can return to this bull market until we have either price capitulation or time capitulation. And I would hope it's going to be price capitulation, because that means that it doesn't have to take a lot of time in order to resume this bull market. But we do need a massive shakeout to reset the sentiment and maybe fill the CME gap down below right here. Maybe that is going to be in September. Maybe we are going to see a very quick move down, like I've been discussing in my previous videos. But maybe it's also possible that we are going to see that later this year, maybe in December. So we gotta prepare for either both scenarios. Stablecoin dominance is still in the same structure, still looking bullish. So yeah, that is just something I want to note. Also right here in the USDC dominance, you can see we do have a bearish divergence, which means that we could get a small correction right here, which would support the fact that Bitcoin were to see a briefer were to break up right here. So I definitely want to see Bitcoin going a little bit up before going lower, at least to reset the sentiment. Then guys, let's have a quick talk about AI, because AI is definitely the future. We can see AI already being integrated right here in our normal lives with ChatGPT, but a lot of other things as well. And guys, what we are seeing from AI is that AI is being used to develop machine learning trading models, detect transactional irregularities, and even analyze complex blockchain data with an exceptionally high level of accuracy. This was asked by Jeroen van Lange, founder and analyst of the Blockchain Today, of course. And this is really true, guys. Like a lot of things, like for example, like internet crimes, stuff like that, or KYC, all of this stuff will be taken over by artificial intelligence. And On the one hand, it's actually kind of scary because a lot of jobs that right now are being done by humans will be replaced by artificial intelligence. But next to that, I do think that not all jobs, especially creative jobs, cannot be replaced by artificial intelligence, because we as a human being also still have some qualities that artificial intelligence doesn't have, and that are most of the time emotional qualities. But this is definitely something we need to take into our mind when looking at the future. AI will be a big part of our future, as we can already see the change happening today. And yeah, take that in mind when you study or when you do anything, when you make any decision that has a big influence on your future. Make sure that you think about this as well. So guys, also do mind that KYC processes or transactions over on the blockchain can be analyzed by AI, and therefore are not really anonymous, and they can definitely link most addresses to a person in a couple of years from now. So yeah, definitely something to to think about when you are making future decisions for yourself. Think about what AI can do in the future. It's the same as basically when we were back in the internet, back in the 80s, the start of the personal computer, the start of the internet. And this is basically a similar technological advancement, but then for our times. So back in those days, a lot of people were like, wow, the personal computer, internet. But the ones that were thinking at that specific moment, hey, how can I use this new technology to boost my career, to boost my knowledge, to boost my productivity. Those were the ones who adapted this very soon, who can capitulate on that technology and basically take the advantage from it. Then guys, let's go to the next chart, and that is the BNB token, and this is the Binance token valued against Bitcoin, so BNB/BTC. And what we can see right here, guys, is that it is really looking very, very ugly, similar as the normal BNB token chart. This is not looking good, but this is also not looking good. So if you are invested in Binance token, I think this can drop definitely another 60% against its Bitcoin value. We are in a rising channel right here on the weekly time frame. After touching the resistance, we are coming down to the middle of support, and we lost that middle support right here, seeing a lot of weakness. And the month of September historically for BNB and BTC is also a very bad month, and this is a question that's kind of bothering me a little bit, because we have been talking about Binance a lot on this channel, and for me it is really, I don't know if we're going to see Binance collapse before Bitcoin enters that new bull market, because what we can see in this chart right here over on Binance BNB against USD is that this chart just it really looks very, very bad. And if this one were to break out to the downside, I would say a lot of liquidity would just get wiped out of the BNB market cap. Maybe even more than half. That would be more than 15 billion US dollars. And yeah, Binance against Bitcoin is also looking horrible. And you gotta think, guys, that this Binance is basically valued at the occupation it had right back in the days, because Binance was or is maybe still the biggest cryptocurrency exchange out there, but they've lost so much volume. That is a crazy amount of volume, because all the crypto markets right now are dried up anyway, right? I mean, the volume is already crazy low. The liquidity is gone. But for Binance, they even lost the liquidity of the United States and Canada, which I think United States is one of the highest volume you can get in terms of countries. But they also face a lot of regulatory issues in Europe, which means that they, for example, in Holland, you cannot use Binance. So they also lose those customers in Europe. So if you lose the Western society as customers, you maybe have mostly Asia right here, but you got to think that this valuation of BNB token was really because of Binance position. And Binance position in the past year has significantly changed. And the volume has is right now so low that I think nobody really anticipated this kind of drop in such a huge exchange, and they already had to cut off a lot of employees, a lot of employee benefits, like they said in some letters. But yeah, I would say, guys, also combining the fundamentals, right? SEC lawsuit, no liquidity, no trading volume from states, United States, Canada, and mostly from Europe, right? Those three fundamental reasons combined with a huge macro bearish pattern, with this kind of value creation, which was kind of crazy, right? Because the value got created in such a small amount of time, and we never had a retest down here. That for me is the perfect cocktail for this to really collapse and be some kind of big news event. And I don't know if this is going to happen before we are going to take off during this bull market, or that maybe in the next bear market this will collapse. But I don't know. I really think that this is a ticking time bomb, if you would ask me. Another thing I want to share with you guys is that the premium index over on whaleportal.com is firing a interesting signal. At least it did fire it in interesting signal. A very big diversion between a spot and premium price that was on this capitulation event right here. So this would strengthen the fact that this is a low for now, and that we still can go up before we are going to surpass that low. We need some more, or at least more sideways action, or a little bit up, because the sentiment right now is clearly everyone is expecting Bitcoin to go and see lower levels. So guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If so, make sure to leave the thumbs up button. It is very much appreciated. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I want to wish every single one of you from the bottom of my heart a beautiful day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.